Hello guys and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to tell you what is MBA, how to get an MBA and all about the admissions process. And I think the best place to talk about MBA is Harvard Business School. I'm in Harvard now, it's Cambridge, Boston, and Harvard Business School is ranked number one in all of the rankings that rank business schools all over the world. And if you're interested in the MBA topic, please continue watching this video. Okay, I found a perfect location for shooting this video. This is Harvard Executive Center for Executive Education, and it's Saturday and it's so silent. Perfect for shooting the video. So, what's the difference between Masters and MBA? So Masters would be this 1-year program that concentrates particularly on one subject, for example, Masters in Finance or Masters in Marketing. And there's no such thing, this is really rare if you see some like Masters in Management, because Masters in Management is MBA. And MBA prepares future leaders. It helps students get taste of everything, like taste of finance, taste of marketing. You can take concentration in particular subjects. You can do entrepreneurship if you want to start your own company. An MBA is a 2-year program that gives you foundation in everything and prepares you for your future management career. And another very important part of the MBA is networking. That's why it's 2 years, I guess, because you're not only learning how to manage your company, how to run a department or something, you're also building connections. You're building connections with your professors, you're building connections with the alumni of the school where you're studying, and you're also building connections with the students that are in your class. And this is really important. And I actually talked to a student from Stanford, and he told me that 50% of his time is networking. So they're going to clubs, they're traveling, they're doing different things together. And it's also very important to manage your time during MBA, because there would be so many things you want to do, but you would also need to study sometimes. And another thing that I wanted to point out is, if you're looking to do an MBA, it's better to consider top 30, top 50 schools. Going lower doesn't really make sense, because what you're getting from MBA, again, is connection and network for your future career. But the knowledge, you can basically go on Coursera and everything is free. I think MIT just opened all of its courses for free public. So you can read anything, you would get the same knowledge. But studying at school gives you this unique experience of connecting with people. And I would say for MBA, either consider top 10 schools, like top 30, top 50 max, or do a master's program. Now I'm going to talk to you about getting into MBA. So it is a very competitive program. If we take Harvard, for example, the acceptance rate is around 11%. For Stanford is like 6%, and for MIT is around 11 to 14%. So you have 9 more candidates standing in front of you and who want to get into the exact same program. So what you need, first you need to have bachelor's degree. And bachelor's degree can be from any field. You can be you could have specialized in economics, you could have specialized in medicine, whatever, it doesn't matter, because MBA can prepare you to be a manager in your particular field. And actually, if you're looking for like MBA in medicine, Johns Hopkins would be the best for it. I think Harvard also provides MBA in medicine. And after that, you would need to figure out whether you want to have this work experience before your MBA. And I would really advise you to have it, because I've attended a couple of lectures at Stanford and MIT, and from my perspective, I have like 5 years of experience of running my own company, and there were so many lectures that were so practical. I was like, oh, I had this problem, I wish I attended this lecture earlier. But then I can apply what I'm listening to real life, because otherwise, if I hadn't had those problems, I would be like, oh, who needs that? But when you have this real life experience, it really helps improve your performance during the MBA. So I would say 2 years of work experience would be perfect, and you would be more competitive, because normally MBA applicants would have 2 to 3 years of work experience on average. And you can actually go to any MBA website, like Harvard MBA would have average class profile, and you would see who actually got in and how many work experience they've had. But Harvard also accepts people with no work experience. But I would say, to make your application competitive and to take the most out of your MBA experience, have a couple of years of real work time, and the best companies to work for are those who are known here in the States, especially if you're a foreign student. So go for big banks or big companies like PricewaterhouseCoopers, KPMG. That would be really helpful. The third thing, inevitable GMAT test. So I've taken GMAT and it took me 2 months to prepare because I was really tough on time. I decided to do my MBA like in October and applied in January. And but normally people take 5 to 6 months to prepare, and I will leave all the links below to my videos and to the books I've used. So if you guys need some preparation tips, they would be all below. And it's better to score more than 700 on GMAT. The maximum is 800. So yeah, I would say 5 to 6 months preparation. And the average GMAT for Harvard, for example, I think it's around 710 or 720. So you would want to be a little above average basically in order to get in. But if you're in average, that should be fine. There are also people who score like 650 and still get in, but those are people with unique experience, I'd say. Like if you had a startup and you sold it, or you made amazing progress on your workplace, that will be great. That would distinguish you from other applicants. Another exam that you need to take if you're an international applicant is Toefl language exam. I will leave all the links below again, but TOEFL compared to GMAT is like kindergarten exam, because GMAT is taken by, you know, thousands of people all over the world, and you need to be in those top 10%, and you're competing against native speakers, you're competing against Chinese people who know mathematics like they're geniuses in maths, and you really need to prepare there. And so there's also this application form, which is really thorough. They would not only ask you where you went to school or what are your hobbies, but also like describe yourself in 20 words. This is from Stanford's application. MIT would ask you to shoot a video. This is optional, but you could do an essay or you could do a video, and I definitely advise you to make a video because this is something that shows you as a personality. Motivation letters, a really important part of your application. This is where you need to show yourself as an individual and tell those unique stories that make you different from other applicants. For example, Stanford asks what matters most to you and why, and this is not an essay you would just write in the evening after you just had dinner and before you go to bed. This is something you need to think on. This is something you need to digest and come up with the ideas. And if you're successful, if the school likes you, in a month or so after the application process, they would invite you to come over or meet with an alumni and conduct an interview. So for MIT and Harvard, they would invite you to come here, or they also travel around the world, so you can join them somewhere in a city that is close by to you. Stanford will connect you with an alumni who is based in your city, so you don't have to travel. And also applying to business schools, it's not a cheap process. So every application would be around $250 if we're talking about top schools. For lower ranking universities, I would say $60, but still be ready for some expenses. But the major expense comes when you're accepted, because tuition for MBA ranges from, I would say, $50,000 a year to $60,000 a year is MIT, or it's 68 something. So you would end up with having to pay around $200,000 for 2-year MBA, including accommodation, food, and your life expenses. So be ready for that. But also, like I would say 80% of students don't pay the whole amount. They get some fellowships, they get some scholarships, they get assistantships, and I have the whole video about types of financial aid. I would also leave a link below. And but be ready. And also, like 80% would get some sort of financial aid, but also the majority of students would take loans directly from the universities. And when you finish your school, you would need to repay that loan. But the great thing is the average salary after an MBA is around $120K a year, $120,000. And there is also the signing bonus. When you accept a job, they would give you like extra $20,000 just because you said yes, which is amazing. And top companies start hunting MBA students from, I think, month 3 into their studies. So they would come on campus and present themselves, and you can apply for internship. And if you're an international student, it's really important for you to find internship during your first summer after MBA, because you would need to get this work visa if you want to stay in the States. So after you finish the program, you get an OPT, and that allows you to stay in the States for a year, but then you need to figure something out. And this is a very competitive field, but if you're willing to stay here, you will get that chance. Yeah, I think that was pretty much it about MBAs. So I was accepted to an MBA in the University of Florida, but I didn't go because I decided to run my own startup. Yeah, I think you should believe in yourself, believe in your chances of getting to top schools, and my advice is to apply to around 6 schools, like take 2 star schools, 2 safety schools, and 2 schools that you're confident in, so that you have maximum chances of getting accepted. And if you have any questions, guys, there would be a link to my forum, because comments, I have a lot of comments. I have more than 30 videos on my YouTube and I get hundreds of comments, but forum is where I would normally answer. And there is also like a personal consultation with me. I will leave a link below so we can have like 50 minutes where we sit down and talk about your situation, and I tell you more about my application process. So yes, that was it. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe and like it so other people would also see it on YouTube. And I hope I inspired you guys to believe in yourself and to start your preparation and moving towards your dream of getting an MBA. Thank you so much. You're amazing. Have a great day. Bye bye.